Hello and welcome to a quick video recording of how to configure your workforce for contactless payments using the XcooBee contactless payment system. So our walkthrough principally has one prerequisite, and that's to have a XcooBee business account. You can have either the professional level account, which is our pay-as-you-go account, or a development account if you're doing development on top of it, or our business account if you have lots of transactions, which offers you flat rates and has better conditions. So having said all that, the things that we will do is we will actually create a XcooBee payment project from scratch using most of the presets that are already there, and we will connect it to our field app, which is called Register Assistant, so you can see how that is done fairly quickly as well. I have switched to my XcooBee dashboard, and I will go to my project center to create a new project where we will define the specifics of our payment elements. So I'm just going to use the Add New Projects button here on the top right corner. We will select a payment request, which is really all the payment processing project that we need. I'm going to click on next right here on the bottom. I have to shift my screen slightly so you can see it. Here we go. We filled in the very basic information. So if we had a truck in the field, we could call it truck 14, so all payments for truck 14, or you could basically call service trucks if you want to make this a little easier for you to manage. And we will basically put in some information here that describes the purpose. I can specify multiple languages if I need to do so, and obviously multiple currencies if I'm doing businesses in different currencies and different countries. I'm going to flip to the next step. As I'm walking through, I'm going to specify the things I already have. I'm going to accept US dollars and credit cards. Just moving on very quickly through the wizard. As you see, most of the information is pre-filled. This section is for GDPR or CCPA requirements. In our case, we will just turn it off. I'm going to look at connectivity. As you see, most of my things have already been connected. When you set up the first project for the first time, or any of our applications for the first time, it will take slightly longer to fill in all the connectivity elements. But as you see, as we are walking through projects the next or subsequent times, it is basically just clicking next and verifying that the information is still correct. I'm just going to move on here to the next step, to development, and really I'm just looking at it, and I'm going to go to the last step, which is the summary, and I'm principally ready to activate the project, which will activate all of our payment processors and processing and make it ready to be accessed through our app and terminals. As you see, our project is activated now. We are able to run processing and transactions through. The thing that I will need for connectivity is the campaign ID and the form ID on top of my project window, project wizard window. This is what the field workers in the field, or restaurant operators or waitresses in the restaurant would need in order to collect payments. This is really your backup. The easiest way is to actually create our basic QR code and have them scan it in the app, and they are ready to go. And that's all the configuration that is really needed in the app. So the next step is for us to switch into the app and see how that behaves once we're in the field. Let's switch gears, and let's say we are a worker in the field, a waiter or waitress, and look at their world. They would need to install our simple app on their device. They're normally their mobile device. They would do so by going to their app store. In our case, we're going to use an Android or Google App Store, and just search for XcooBee. You will find a few apps. The one that is the terminal that people can work with in the field for payment purposes is called Register Assistant. So you just need to click on that and basically download it. I've already done so, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it for now. When you open up the app for the first time, you'll be asked for the configuration information. first. So I'm just going to go there by clicking the little gear icon so you see how the configuration is done. Really not many things to be done if you're in the field. The campaign reference and the form reference that I had mentioned earlier when we are creating the XcooBee project are the things that we need, and they can be entered manually if you like. But if you had provided the QR code, you can also click the blue button and scan the QR code, and the configuration would be automatic from there. The next step is the currencies that are accepted by this app. Currently, only dollars and euros are supported. If you have any sort of minimum payment that you want to process here, that can be also entered, and as well as some of the accepted payment methods you want to process through here. That's really all that there is for configuration. In the field, what you would do for your field representatives doing a job or asking for payment in a restaurant, they would most likely use the manual entry. So we're going to go there. When entry is required, we just type in the amount that we want to process. In our case, let's say it's $45.25. And we can enter a description. So if I finish with my job, I'm going to say it's job 456 that has just been finished. I can tap on this here code itself or just click on the done button here on the corner, and it should magnify this and make it larger for people to be able to scan. The way this is oriented is so that it's easier to be handled in the field, to be shown to an end customer that has to scan this code. It is reverted in their direction so that they can actually read and you can interact with them. As you see here on this, in this case, you have job 456 and 4525. If you want to have a tip calculator included in the payment, that can also be checked here. And then when the customer scans the QR code, the tip calculator is part of it. Other ways of asking for payments in the field, we can text the payment request, we can actually email it, or if you want to enter the information directly into the device or into the web, we really don't save anything on the device, then you can do so as well. The end customer experience is very straightforward. They load the request here, and what they see is very much what we typed in earlier when we defined our payment project, the job information that was there, as well as the user and payment information. They can have that done a lot quicker, obviously, if they had a organizational account, and all that information would be filled in for them. This is how complex the app gets. There's not more to it. In terms of the field operations, we can create new transactions fairly easily by cleaning everything up. And let's say we'll create another account or another amount for 1225, and we're going to say done, and you could collect 1225 in the field using this mechanism over and over again. The app overall, very simple to use. There's only 2 buttons to worry about. The auto read does a completely different process. We're not really worried about it in this video. And the manual entry is what you will normally deal with in the field when jobs are completed and you need to process payments. When the end customer finishes the payment and the payment is successfully processed, the field worker or the people in the field will also be notified via push notifications to their device, so then they know that everything has completed successfully. In our case, I'm using an emulator that doesn't have push notification connected, but that is very simple, and field experience is a lot easier than what I'm showing you here. That's really all that people need to worry about in the field. Just to summarize what we have accomplished, we have been able to create a XcooBee payment request that is our transaction baseline and backend for our field operations. We have been able to connect it to terminals in the field and have been able to process payments in the field using that mechanism. So overall, pretty straightforward, pretty simple to do. Just a few things to summarize. There are no per terminal fees. You can have unlimited people download the apps and process payments for you. There's no extra charge for that. We have also no in-field security risks, as really no data is collected on the devices or processed directly on the devices. So even if the devices are lost, stolen, no data breach can occur through that mechanism. It's easy to set up. We've gone through it. And you have flexibility in what payments you accept and payment processing you want to do in the field. And there's even more that can be done on the back end, and you can configure. If you have an app that you want to enable for payment processing in the field, we can certainly work with you on showing you what we have in terms of APIs and SDKs that you can plug in and enable payment to be collected literally in minutes. We can also build apps that look similar and you can take to your field for yourself. And we have quite a few things that we have been able to do on our platform integration-wise, especially with backend and enterprise integrations. Please reach out to us to investigate further. We'd be glad to chat with you and see what can be done together. Thanks again for watching this video.